Uh-oh.
All right, guys, welcome in another week of the Coach Caleb Ross Show, and join me as always, Coach Caleb Ross. Coach, man, a big win last week was something we've, honestly kind of talked about from the start of the season. You had the crazy 3 straight weeks on the
Right.
road. You finish up at Wetumpka, a 31-13 win. Some big-time players we're going to talk about a little bit later, man, but right off the top, Saturday morning waking up, how'd you feel, Coach?
Man, we felt really good. Like I said, we were talking about this last week in preparation. It was a game that meant nothing for region or 7A or playoffs, but it meant everything for pride and community. And, we ain't had a whole lot of luck against those guys here lately. So to come out, man, and win the game and really the way we did, I was proud of that. And we'll talk about that. But I was just proud to get that win, man. That's a big win. I was probably gotten more congratulations, Coach. That's a big win over this past weekend than I have in probably any win this year. So I know that's a big win. A lot of people were watching that one, and Wetumpka's got a good program. So to go out and get a quality win against a quality opponent, you're always happy about that.
I mean, Coach, just respect. That's kind of something that we really honed on last week is, a game like that means a lot. It doesn't matter if you play 6A, 7A. There's a lot of pride that goes into a big
That's
rival
right.
game.
That's right. And I'll tell you this, Wetumpka here has been very successful in recent years. And they've won They played for a state championship at the 6A level and had a good season last year. So they're they've been one of the premier programs in this area. So one of our goals when we come back here is we're going to make Prattville one of the premier programs again, like in our mind, like it should be. So that was definitely a step in the right direction of claiming what we hope is ours. And obviously they're going to regroup and have a great year. And man, it'll be a great game next year when we play them. It always will be. I mean, they do a good job over there. But, for right now, man, I guess it swung to our favor for this year. So.
Coach, 4-1 overall, 1-1 in Region 2 play in Class 7A. And, I didn't mention it coming in. We're actually at Stanley-Jensen Stadium. It's for a nice little, I think, 8th grade going on right now, right?
This is 7th grade
7th grade,
now,
okay.
And the 8th grade will play right afterward. So you get back-to-back games. And like I said, man, this 7th grade here, it sounds like they just scored again. But
they're 22-0.
They're undefeated, man. That's a really good group, really talented group. We're obviously the future's, really bright for us, man. We're excited about it.
Coach, really, really big week. And, it's a game that, look, let's just throw this out there. Every week that you play in Class 7A it's a really big game because, when you look at top to bottom, even when you jump out and play at Wetumpka in 6A,
right.
It's still one of the best teams in 6A.
That's right.
So, the schedule has been incredibly difficult. But at this point, Coach, 4-1, 1-1, giant region game coming your way tomorrow night. You got Lee Montgomery, the Generals, undefeated at this point, and just looking into it because I know probably Saturday, Sunday, or maybe 6 weeks ago, you're kind of looking at some film, trying to get really familiar with these guys. What sticks out the most about the Generals?
Well, first of all, man, they do a good job, man. They're well coached. They've got really good players, but they do a really good job with them. Probably the thing that probably stands out the most, and this is just me observing that program since I've came back, and we'd go scout them in person, man. They do a good job, man. There's not a whole lot of junk going on when you go watch them in person. Sidelines organized. You can tell, man, they've got a purpose. They got a plan. What I'm probably the most impressed with them is they don't try to get out of who they are, man. They've got good players. They put them in good positions, and they allow them to go play. They don't try to do too much on either side of the ball, but it's not like they're vanilla either. They've got good answers. I mean, they're going to have a good plan, a good scheme to stop what you do, but they're also going to have a good plan to kind of attack what you do defensively. So, and they're sound and solid on special teams. So when you watch them, man, they've got really good players, and they're really sound and do a really good job with them.
Each and every week, 5:30 to 6:30 on Thursdays, except for next week because it's a Thursday night type of game that you'll have, I believe, at Crampton Bowl,
That's
right? So you'll have a Crampton Bowl next Thursday, something we'll talk about a little bit later in the program tonight. Again, so many ways you can catch this show right here on Dixie Country 100.1 FM. You're listening to, if you're watching, that's Prattville Live. You can go back and always watch the archives if you want to see the show. Stacy Mills, our incredible executive producer. I'm not sure his title except Mr. Everything. He'll have the show archived. He's the reason we're on right now. And, look, you can go to DixieCountry.com. Also, you can ask Alexa, play Dixie Country. Again, you can watch and listen to Coach so many ways. A testament to Stacy Mills and the guys at Dixie Country.
There ain't no doubt, man. What a job they do. Just to put on this show, man, Stacy Mills is Prattville football, man, for as long as I can tell. He loves it, man. He does a good job. And, man, he's involved in so many things, man. He's obviously the Prattville Live stuff. Obviously does the work with Dixie Country stuff. But he also works for the Alabama High School Athletic Association on some things. He works for the Alabama Football Coaches Association on some things.
He's everywhere.
He is, man. He does the Coaches Review Show. He does the Coaches Show from Thursday nights. He does the pregame. I mean, he's everything. And he's involved in so many things. And, man, I know this. I'm glad he's a Prattville line. I know that. So he makes all my job sometimes a lot easier. I'll forget to do things, and he's already put in a stat or sent some stat in or nominated somebody for Player of the Week. Man, he's a good asset to have.
Coach, talking about putting in stats, a guy that we're staring at right here behind the camera had an incredible game. Junior tailback Andre Powell, 30 carries against Wetumpka's defense, 134 yards, 3 touchdowns. Man, he's just going to be one guy we're talking about. He's the Buffalo Rock Player of the Week. He'll get a cool plaque, get him a little haircut deal over at Sports Clips in Prattville, too. But, man, how about a game from this guy?
Man, I think he knows this. I think some of the other coaches accuse me, man. Keondre is one of my favorite kids on the team, man. He's just a football player. He's one of those, man, I'll take that guy and put him at any position on the field, and he's going to find a way to win, man. He's tough. He's hard-nosed. He's all about business. He smiles and has a good time stuff, but, man, he's my type of guy, man. When he steps on that field, I mean, it's all about business, man. We're here to get this job done. So, what a phenomenal night. And he'd been playing some linebacker for us, and we were going to commit to him running the football more. He's a very talented running back, did a great job as a sophomore. We had moved him over to defense because we felt like we needed him, man. He's instinctive, he's physical, he's fast, and was doing a good job over there. But when we had an injury, man, we felt like, hey, we're going to move him over and get more reps. And then when we had an injury, hey, we got to increase your workload. And, man, he answered the call. I know that. He was tired after that game Friday night. He was tired, but, hey, I'll tell you this. If somebody said, hey, tell me one guy you got to go hand the ball off 25 times, I said, give me Keondre Powell. He's a winner, man. Let's go to battle with that guy.
30 carries again, $134, 3 touchdowns on the ground against a very, very good Wetumpka team. Probably a team that we'll see deep into 6A playoffs in just a couple weeks. Coach, looking at the overall result, something I'll throw out there a little bit later. I mean, points for, points against. You put up 31 points. You gave up 13. First half, man, those highlights, Taekwon Rawl as a quarterback over at Wetumpka, is a guy that you really said, hey, look, he's just going to do what he does, and we're going to have to contain him. It was a containment type of prep of a game. How did the coaching staff, you think, from the prep side to the actual execution side, do on Friday night?
Man, I'll tell you this. Defensively, what our defensive staff, our defensive coordinator, Coach Shook, and our defensive staff, the game plan they had was phenomenal. The preparation we had all week was phenomenal. And then, obviously, the last part, the execution. So, did a great job, man. I mean, I think they had 213 yards total offense. 35 of those were on the last play before the half when we were in like a deep, almost soft prevent defense. And we tackled him right as the time expired. And that guy, man, the whole number 6, somebody said they had less than 100. I think it had 89 yards rushing or something.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's just incredible, man. What a night. I don't know if Wetumpka's had that low of a total in 4 or 5 years.
I don't think
our
so.
Kids were dialed in, man. They set a tone early. They played a physical style of football, controlled the line of scrimmage. And, man, it was just they were dialed in from the unbelievable night defensively, especially what I call one of the better offenses that, man, we will see. I mean, this year, next year, last year, I mean, just I can't go on about the defensive effort.
I guess to point this out because – occasionally, I will say that you're not as bad as some coaches. I'm sitting on the sideline trying to grab a couple ISO shots if you're walking down. And, sometimes, it might be second half I'm out there. From what I hear, it looked like he was having a good time Friday night. What was the enjoyment level of just being on the headset out there coaching?
Well, somebody said I smiled late in the game. I don't know. I have to ask them about that. But, look, people think, man, you're so serious. I said, well, man, we take this seriously. We do. I don't know sometimes if I think I don't realize I'm that serious. I mean, we enjoy it. I guess I'm so used to, hey, we can't get caught up in the moment. I got to think about the next play call. I got to think about the next strategy, whatever. So you just kind of got to be 2 steps ahead. And sometimes my reaction to that is I get real numb with my emotions. But, our kids were playing well. So, I mean, if we seemed like we were enjoying it, we were. Now, halftime, it's 14-13. It's intense. But as we started taking control of that game, man, I just knew how big of a win that was for us and for our kids, man, because really they kind of got on us last year and in my mind humiliated us a little bit, and they've been doing that. And so, man, And I challenged them to get pride back, man, and they did it. And I guess that's what I was just more proud of, man. That's why, there's some high fives at the end, because I know it meant so much to our kids, man, to win that game Friday. Like I said, it means nothing for the big picture, but it does. It's one of those means nothing for the playoff.
Well, it's
picture,
confidence
but it
for tomorrow
means
night.
everything for where we're at. For this program, for the next years to come, it meant a lot. So.
Nick Saban's show's coming right after this. It's a little, I guess, extra incentive to stick around. Stay with us, Dixie Country 100.1. We'll give you those ways. So many different ways you can watch us. Prattville at live YouTube. Again, guys, it is a giant week, Coach, man. It is Lee Montgomery tomorrow night. Lee undefeated, sitting atop Class 7A Region 2. Prattville sitting right on their heels. A big one tomorrow. A lot of implications in this one at this point in the season. Guys, it is time for our first break. Stay with us. More of the Coach Caleb Ross Show right after this.
Chip Powell here at Larry Puckett Chevrolet with sales manager Kirk Mims, where LP also stands for low prices. Kirk, talk about your deals here.
Man, it's a great time here at Larry Puckett Chevrolet. You know what? Football is here, but football also means fall savings at Larry Puckett Chevrolet. We got great prices. We got a great inventory. We got 0% financing on multiple models. There's never been a bigger time to shop. We have a great selection of used cars. You can go to LarryPuckettChevrolet.com.
Larry Puckett Chevrolet right here in Prattville, Alabama.
Think local. Think of all the skill and talent found right here in our community. Hands that build, hands that feed, teach, protect, and hands that heal. Guardian Credit Union reaches out to people just like you. Handling loans for new cars, opening doors to new homes, saying yes to fun and adventure. When you need a strong, steady financial hand, think local. Think Guardian.
Buffalo Rock is well known for Pepsi and other great soft drink brands. Did you know that Buffalo Rock is one of the River Region's largest full-service caterers? And have you heard about Micro Market? Buffalo Rock is leading the region with innovation to replace conventional vending at many of the larger industrial plants. Plant management loves it, and so do the employees. To find out more about Buffalo Rock Catering and the Micro Market, call Mike Barnett at 334-394-4452. The Buffalo Rock family is proud to support area schools. BuffaloRock.com.
It's time for a trip to Prattville Outdoors at 118 Highway 82 West in Prattville. Prattville Outdoors is locally owned, family operated. The Johnson Brothers and Viv. Prattville Outdoors with a great selection of Gravely zero-turn mowers. These are top zero-turn mowers, residential or commercial. Buy now with no money down, 0% financing for up to 48 months, and they got all the sales and service to back up everything they do there at Prattville Outdoors. So when you're ready to buy a brand new lawnmower, you need to go to the people that know their stuff. Go to PrattvilleOutdoors.com or follow on Facebook.
Give me some U.S. farm-raised catfish. Give me some U.S. farm-raised catfish.
I only use U.S. farm-raised catfish.
We've been selling U.S. farm-raised catfish since 1978.
They do have a choice for a good, wholesome, safe fish. We know it's a good product.
Ask for U.S. farm-raised catfish, only the finest, freshest, tastiest. You can taste the difference.
From our farm to your table, your family deserves the best. U.S. farm-raised catfish.
Chip Powell here with Lewis Mills, service manager of Larry Puckett Chevrolet, Express Oil Change and Tire Engineers. Lewis, talk to us about your Express Oil Change.
Well, our Express Oil Change, we have a full-line mechanical shop. We do 10-minute oil changes, and we are a full-fledged tire shop. We're a direct dealer with Michelin, BF Goodrich, Unaroyal, and Yokohama.
When you need
games, man, I mean, it got kind of rough, to start the season, but, man, the schedule is settling in. It's something that I've looked forward to.
Right.
More home games, closer games, some Crampton Bowl games. Again, guys, we'll just go over at Central Phoenix City to kind of start it, then Enterprise, Wetumpka. And, hey, look, finally you're getting yourself a nice little home game, get back the crowd. Lee Montgomery, just looking at, the night before, it's something that we glance out each week. What's going through your mind right now leading up? Because I know you're doing the coach's show and we're kind of rolling with it, but, leading up the night before the big region game.
Yeah, man, we try to we don't want to get too excited. I think we talked a little bit about this a couple weeks ago, man. We this is a standard. We're going to come do our coach's show, and tonight, man, I really kind of will try to hopefully get home. I'll watch a little bit of our junior high, I'll watch some of our 8th grade, and kind of watch the future there, but then kind of go home and really Thursday night's probably really the only night that I really kind of got where I can kind of be me a little bit, unless something's going on. So we'll probably go, and I'll probably go home and help my wife put the kids to bed, and watch a little college football or Thursday night NFL football, and really kind of chill back for 30 minutes. I really don't get much of
Coach,
that.
not true. You wake up at 4:15 a.m., so you get a little personal time. You're just not awake. You know, you're sitting there trying to get some coffee.
That's right, and I get that in the morning. But this is really at night where I can kind of just, man, I'm just gonna kind of soak it in because it's a rat race. We talked about it, but it's fun. But no, trust me, I go through our call sheet. Our offensive coordinator Matt Malone does a great job, man. And he'll usually send me the opening script or calls, what he thinks he likes, and I'll look through them and just kind of really highlight the things I think, man, I think this is good. Well, maybe we need to adjust this, but man, that's kind of what we did the night before.
Will Barrett, Chip Powell, the entire gang tomorrow night. One thing we want to throw your way, don't miss it. Pregame starts at 6 o'clock. Then they'll pick back up live pregame 6:45 with kickoff at 7 o'clock tomorrow night. It is Lee Montgomery and Prattville Lions, your Lions. Coach, let's just go over a couple players and kind of wrap up with Tumpka as we kind of look to, starting off Monday, week of practice and stuff. A.J. Gary, man, a guy that, my goodness, a couple weeks ago when he won the Buffalo Rock Player of the Week, had a really good game. And this one, 2 interceptions. I mean, this is ridiculous. A blocked field goal and an extra point.
That's right.
And 4 solo tackles and 1 assist. So, I mean, you're talking about a cornerback, a guy that's up and coming, and, you can really throw out there on anybody.
Yeah, man, he had a phenomenal game, and obviously the 2 block kicks and 2 picks are huge plays. But there's probably the play in my mind that was the play of the game was they're going to run a kickoff back. We kicked it down to the 1, and it kind of got bottled up, and it was one of kind of like a freakish play, and he pops out the other end. And they've got numbers, and our kicker does a good job of kind of like getting in his way to slow him down. And, man, Andre's hustling. AJ's hustling and goes and gets him tackled, man. That's a huge play. And then, man, another thing to me, the block field goal, we got the angle, great kick. But the block extra point. So what that did is instead of being 7-7, they made it 7-6 and essentially made the game 14-13 at half. Well, you think, well, that's just 1 point. But I'm telling you, as a coach, you feel like that 1 point might as well be 10 points, man. You're down. And it gave you a little confidence, hey, if we can score, we really got to go. We'll go up a touchdown and a 2-point conversion, man, ahead of these guys. So huge just effort plays, man. And the kid, what I like about AJ, he loves a challenge. When you can challenge him, if he's got he's got a great receiver he's got to go against, or he's got a great offense, man, that kid rises to the occasion now. And he's done that a couple times.
Coach Cal Kramer, another solid game. And, of course, you look on the stat sheet, you see a $179, you see 1 touchdown. 13 of 23. So, I mean, pretty solid-looking stats, not the normal 4 or 5 touchdowns we've seen. That's because of our guy, Andre Powell, that we'll get on in the next segment, kind of break it down with him. But, I mean, it appeared a pretty solid game to where Kyle really just controlled the flow.
That's right, yeah. And Kyle's probably, to be fair, probably has had better games. But, he made some big throws when he needed to. And to be fair, man, with Tumpka kind of game plan-wise, they kind of went in and said, hey, we're going to play a 2-safety look, and we're going to keep those safeties about 13, 14 yards, and you're not going to throw over the top of us. Matter of fact, we're going to try to make it really hard to throw on us. So that's kind of, man, we went in and we had some stuff that, based off what we had seen, we thought was going to be good. And you realize, well, hey, man, we kind of got to adjust our game plan. But what they were allowing us to do was run the football.
Yeah,
and so,
that's
man,
what you did 30 times
man.
with
We
them,
went
right?
in at halftime and said, hey, they're going to do this. Let's get a couple throws that we like. And let's run the football, man. Let's feed Keondre. And, man, like I said, he answered the call. Man, we kept handing the ball off to him. And we get him out for a play or two, and I was like, man, I got to have you right back. And he's like, all right, Coach, let's go. So, man, like I said, that was kind of the game plan. Kyle, like I said, and here's the thing, man. Kyle had the big throw in the third quarter there to Keondre. Put us up 21-13. And, man, I tell you this, a great hustle play. We throw an alley screen that they really read well and picked it off. And that was kind of half on maybe Kyle, maybe half on the receiver, not retracing back to the ball. But instead of giving up on it, Kyle goes and runs it down, man, and tackles it. And when I think the kid was like, oh, no, because the kid was cruising thinking, I'm about to walk in the end zone.
Yeah, I'm going for 6.
Yeah, and Kyle runs him down and makes the tackle. So then, which everybody thinks foregone conclusion, they're going to score. No, that's when A.J. had the blocked field goal. So just a huge hustle play. And like I said, Kyle made some key throws down the stretch.
Big week. It's Lee Montgomery week. A big win last week to get your team out to 4-1, 1-1, looking for your third region game. That is tomorrow night. Coach, let's take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to talk Buffalo Rock Player of the Week, a guy carrying the rock 30 times. Well, stat sheet just went off for there. 30 times that one, 3 touchdowns, a really, really big game for Keondre Powell, 134 yards. We'll get to that when we return. Guys, you're listening. Remember, Nick Saban Coaches Show coming right up right after this at 6:30, so you want to make sure and stick around for that. Stay with us. We'll be right back. You're listening to the Coach Caleb Ross Show.
Chip Powell here at Larry Puckett Chevrolet with sales manager Kirk Mims, where LP also stands for low prices. Kirk, talk about your deals here.
Man, it's a great time here at Larry Puckett Chevrolet. You know what? Football is here, but football also means fall savings at Larry Puckett Chevrolet. We got great prices. We got a great inventory. We got 0% financing on multiple models. There's never been a bigger time to shop. We have a great selection of used cars. You can go to LarryPuckettChevrolet.com.
Larry Puckett Chevrolet right here in Prattville, Alabama.
Think local. Think of all the skill and talent found right here in our community. Hands that build, hands that feed, teach, protect, and hands that heal. Guardian Credit Union reaches out to people just like you. Handling loans for new cars, opening doors to new homes, saying yes to fun and adventure. When you need a strong, steady financial hand, think local. Think Guardian.
Buffalo Rock is well known for Pepsi and other great soft drink brands. Did you know that Buffalo Rock is one of the River Region's largest full-service caterers? And have you heard about Micro Market? Buffalo Rock is leading the region with innovation to replace conventional vending at many of the larger industrial plants. Plant management loves it, and so do the employees. To find out more about Buffalo Rock Catering and the Micro Market, call Mike Barnett at 334-394-4452. The Buffalo Rock family is proud to support area schools. BuffaloRock.com.
It's time for a trip to Prattville Outdoors at 118 Highway 82 West in Prattville. Prattville Outdoors is locally owned, family operated. The Johnson Brothers and Viv. Prattville Outdoors with a great selection of Gravely zero-turn mowers. These are top zero-turn mowers, residential or commercial. Buy now with no money down, 0% financing for up to 48 months, and they got all the sales and service to back up everything they do there at Prattville Outdoors. So when you're ready to buy a brand new lawnmower, you need to go to the people that know their stuff. Go to PrattvilleOutdoors.com or follow on Facebook.
Give me some U.S. farm-raised catfish. Give me some U.S. farm-raised catfish.
I only use U.S. farm-raised catfish.
We've been selling U.S. farm-raised catfish since 1978.
You do have a choice for a good, wholesome, safe fish. We know it's a good product.
Ask for U.S. farm-raised catfish, only the finest, freshest, tastiest. You can taste the difference.
From our farm to your table, your family deserves the best. U.S. farm-raised catfish.
Chip Powell here with Lewis Mills, service manager of Larry Puckett Chevrolet, Express Oil Change and Tire Engineers. Lewis, talk to us about your Express Oil Change.
Well, our Express Oil Change, we have a full-line mechanical shop. We do 10-minute oil changes, and we are a full-fledged tire shop. We're a direct dealer with Michelin, Goodrich, Uniroyal, and Yokohama.
When you need service, your oil change and tires, come here at Larry Puckett Chevrolet, Express Oil Change and Tires Engineer.
All right, guys, welcome back in. Coach Caleb Ross show up for another segment, and, man, it is a really big week. It's Lee Montgomery. Pratt will be hosting the Generals tomorrow night. So a big one at Stanley-Jensen Stadium, but as promised, as advertised, we're going to come in with our Buffalo Rock Player of the Week against Wetumpka, 31-13. Big win, and junior tailback Keondre Powell joins me now. Keondre, man, you know, heck of a game. 30 carries, $137, 3 touchdowns. Man, you know, confidence-wise, how you feeling after that one?
My confidence is going to stay the same. I'm just going to do what I do at practice. That's how I keep my game. Just do what I do at practice. Don't change anything.
Well, let's do this as we're talking about maybe practice kind of, you know, leading up to this big week. The Buffalo Rock Player of the Week. Show your plaque out there, Keondre. That is yours, my man, for the incredible performance. Actually, $134, 30 carries. You carried it 30 times for Coach Ross. You know, something like that, Keondre, is when a coach has confidence and the defense is giving up and saying, hey, you know, we're just not going to get beat through there. You're going to have to beat us on the ground, and it's exactly what you did. I mean, it's got to put you in a different mindset, especially for the weeks to come.
Yes, it put me in a different mindset because when we start running the ball and we start getting a push on them, it felt like it was just easier to run. I feel like we was running against our B team, which I give that all to our offensive line. They put in work. They put in a lot of work throughout the week.
Always the big guys. You gotta throw them some credit because they are opening up the holes for you. Look, it was something that you also told me off air before we came in that you usually get your hair cut at a barber shop. You're gonna have to tell your barber if this next go around, you're gonna have to sit it out for maybe just this next one to see if we can get you hooked on it. Sports Clips of Prattville, man, a free MVP treatment that you get. You can use that, get freshed up, get a nice little clean shave on the side anytime you want, get the full lowdown. You get a nice hot towel, get a massage, get your hair cut. I mean, really, what's better than that when you're trying to get a haircut? Does your current barber do any of that?
Oh, no, he just gave me a cut.
Well, you're going to be living on the high life again. Keondre Powell, our Buffalo Rock Player of the Week, for his performance against Wetumpka, a giant game. Look, Keondre, let's just break it down, man. When you're getting carry after carry and you're scoring a couple touchdowns, just tell me what was going through your head maybe on, like, halfway point of this game.
That all my hard work in the summer has finally paid off. Like, all that work that I put in before is finally paying off.
What was it like for you when Coach Ross was like, look, you're someone that we have to have on this team, but, defensively, let's get you out there and see what you can do a little bit. Was that something you said, all right, I want to take this task on and see what I can do on the defensive side too?
Yes, sir. I was going to do anything that we need to do for our team to make sure we win. I just want to win the state championship.
No, I think that's apparent. You're sitting 1-1 right now. Region play a big one against Lee Montgomery. What's it been like, especially over the weekend? Fans, family. Everybody's telling you how good you've done, but then you hit the practice field with Coach Ross on Monday, and he's telling everybody because it doesn't matter anymore. You get on the practice field Monday. What's the vibe from this team?
Oh, the vibe finally, it changes. It's now we're on to the next team. We're not worried about that. That's in the past. We're on to the future, and we have to beat Lee, and that's our job.
Look, I'd be doing a crime if I didn't bring this out. Your kicks, man, if that's something you can just hold up a little bit to the cam. He's got some sweet Nike what's?
Nike Air Max.
Air Max, man. I'm just trying to be as fly as you out here, and I got these old Nikes on, so I'm going to keep them down on the ground, but look, mindset for you, you're talking about at the beginning of Monday, you celebrated over the weekend, a big game against Wetumpka. Looking at this game with Lee Montgomery, what's some stuff that you like that they do defensively that you think is going to open up some holes for you?
I really don't. I really can't tell. I really don't know. I just got to do what I normally do and make sure that I don't fumble the ball.
Hey, look, I'm not worried about you fumbling out there. I mean, you had it 30 times against Wetumpka and just carried it. Look, speaking for your other teammates, Kyle Kramer, a couple other guys, and, just offensively, man, anybody can go off, it seems like, any Friday night. Is that something all the boys kind of get together when you're just hanging out and, you're sitting there playing rock, paper, scissors to see who's going to score a touchdown, who's going to make a great catch? Because, everybody gets an opportunity, it feels like. When do you decide, say, hey, it's going to be Thompson over here, it's going to take this one 50 yards or not, or it's going to be you taking for a big touchdown?
I believe it happened naturally, but we do compete about who's going to score the most touchdowns. We argue about that sometimes, who scores the most touchdowns.
Well, yeah, that's a pretty healthy argument, I guess. Looking from starting in the summertime and, starting with a guy that got a lot of carries last year and, you're doing pretty well running the ball, but you had to jump assignments. How good does it feel, especially right now? You get this award, man. You get this, and you carried it. Coach had confidence in you 30 times, and, the story of the game was the ground attack, and that was something that you helped really promote and push for that W.
I know that last year, like when I used to watch this show all the time, I always told myself I was going to be on here one day, and that I had to be on here, so I had to make a change and get up on here.
Oh, good, yeah. I think it's exactly where it's exactly where you're at. You've seen the other guys come in. AJ defensive side. What a game for him this past week too. Is that something you kind of jump back and forth and say, hey, I'm gonna score a touchdown here, AJ? You try to score one and try to get a pick six or something.
Yes, sir. Me and AJ are real close friends, so we was laughing about it too when y'all was debating on who should win the Player of the Week. We was laughing about it too because me and him. We knew we both had a great game, and we got to keep having a great game.
There's no doubt about that, man. Excitement level from fans, family. What's your mama telling you? What's anybody telling you at this point?
My parents telling me that I should have been doing this. I should have been scoring touchdowns.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you got the confidence now. You see it against a good Wetumpka team. You can do it.
Yes, sir. But Tomka really helped me to get better at running back. So now the next game, I have some. I'm going to do a little bit better, I guess, at running back to try to score more.
Well, look, man, good luck tomorrow night. You're going to have plenty of opportunity from kind of what I can gauge. It's going to be a big game. Overall, you feel like you're prepared? You feel like this offense as a unit's going to go out there and put some points up?
Yes, sir. I feel like we're going to win.
Hey, that's all that matters. You got to go with the confidence into the game. Again, Keondre Powell, guys, 30 carries, 134 yards, 3 touchdowns on the ground against Wetumpka, 31-13 win over the rival Indians. Keondre, man, congrats. Congrats for getting this plaque. You know, something you looked at last year and you want to be on this show. Well, man, you've accomplished that. Let's see if we can get you back for a repeat performance.
Yes, sir. I'm trying my hardest to get back on here.
All right, Keondre Powell, our Buffalo Rock Player of the Week. Stay with us. We got a quick 10-second station identification. You're listening to the Coach Caleb Ross Show. All right, welcome back in, Coach Caleb Ross Show. Again, you're listening to Dixie Country 100.1. So many different ways that you can get in on this show. Watch on Prattville Live. That's a nice little stream option there as well. You can also ask Alexa, hey, want to listen to Dixie Country? Alexa will hook you up with that as well. You can listen to DixieCountry.com. You just plug it on in, and you can get this show each and every week. Coach, you know, look, I just got a little one-on-one with your guy, Keondre, and, man, you know, we talked about in the first or second block about how impressive it was, but man, you know, just maturity at this level. It seems like this is a mature young man running the ball.
Well, I think that's probably the thing I noticed the most about Keondre last year, man. Just this kid is probably 15, 16 years old, but man, he carries himself like he's 19, 20, and I mean that, man. He's serious. He's my kind of guy. I tell you, his personality reminds me a lot of a kid I coached named Edo Smith, man. And this kid I coached at McGill is playing for the Atlanta Falcons right now. So just their personalities. Their running styles are similar, and there's some things a little bit different here and there, but that's how Edo was, man. It was like, hey, when I stepped on that weight room or I stepped on that football field, man, I'm all business. And really had zero tolerance for anybody that did not have the same level of competitiveness that he does. And I hope Keondre never changes, man. You know, and he's a leader. He makes the rest of us, makes the rest of them better, and he's an unselfish kid. We asked him to play. He wants, you know, he's a running back, and we asked him, hey, I need you on defense, and he did it. And he enjoys football. He's a physical kid, so he did it really well. So when we had to get him back, man, it was a no-brainer for me. I wasn't, you know, I knew exactly what was going to happen, man. We had this ball. This guy touches it 25 times. He's going to have a night like that, and I expect him to have a great season at running back. I really do.
Coach, is this like the perfect example in Keondre's situation that it's for team, not I, and if you go out and play for the team, you know, the I stuff will come along with it with success.
That's right. And, man, because, look, everybody wants to be successful for themselves, man. I mean, I'd be full of myself, man. We want to have a successful coaching career. But you know what? In the day, I've got a job to do to make every man to help. We want my role to help Prattville football. And obviously that's a big role being the head coach. But it's just a part of it. And Keondre sees the same thing, man. He wants to be good. He's got dreams and goals. He does. But ultimately, too, he wants his teammates. He wants to win, man. He wants to win before anything else. And, man, that's why I guess I love kids like him, man. Not that it's rare. We got more kids like that than people think. People think, well, man, society's so selfish these days. And sure, it is. But, man, we got a lot of really good kids. But Keondre, man, ranks up there just of a kid that he wants to win, man. He's just a winner. And, man, that's the type of kids we want on our team.
Coach, game plan tomorrow night for Keondre, is it just hand him the rock and just watch him score a couple times? I mean,
I hope it's that easy. You know what I mean? Well, and Keondre said it best, man. Our line they played well Friday night again. They play with an edge, and that creates a lot of seams and holes. We're going to have to be able to throw the football down the field too, man. And we got really capable receivers. We got a really good quarterback. It takes everybody, and we're gonna. And Keondre knows this. He can't be the only running back, man. We're gonna have to run some other guys. So. Man, we got, Jaden Kidd, senior. He's going to run the ball some. James Myers, the guy that come in Friday night against Tumpkin, had, man, some hard yardage, man, did nice stuff. So, I mean, it's going to take everybody. Man, Lee's a really good football team, so it's going to take using all of our talent, all of our weapons on offense to go beat them.
Keondre, it's something I ask Coach each week. It varies on week to kind of get a feel, especially on Thursday night before a big game. What's your pregame routine? It's Thursday night. You studying up? You just relaxing before a big game? What's happening?
I usually go out to eat. I go out to eat, come home, watch a little Netflix, and fall asleep every night, every game night.
I mean, just keep it easy, relaxation, get a good meal, and get ready to, just have all that energy for Friday night.
Yes, sir.
Oh, man, that's what I'm talking about. Keondre Powell, man, again, last time we'll say, leading in. Hopefully, again, my man, we'll get you back out here, get you on the show. We'll see you maybe for 50 carries. I mean, Coach is just throwing the rock at you, 5 touchdowns, 50 carries. It could be something, how successful, and, your attitude looking forward. Congrats again, buddy.
Thank you.
All right, guys, you're listening to the Coach Caleb Ross Show. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Chip Powell here at Larry Puckett Chevrolet with sales manager Kirk Mims, where LP also stands for low prices. Kirk, talk about your deals here.
Man, it's a great time here at Larry Puckett Chevrolet. You know what? Football is here, but football also means fall savings at Larry Puckett Chevrolet. We got great prices. We got a great inventory. We got 0% financing on multiple models. There's never been a bigger time to shop. We have a great selection of used cars. You can go to LarryPuckettChevrolet.com.
Larry Puckett Chevrolet right here in Prattville, Alabama.
Think local. Think of all the skill and talent found right here in our community. Hands that build, hands that feed, teach, protect, and hands that heal. Guardian Credit Union reaches out to people just like you. Handling loans for new cars, opening doors to new homes, saying yes to fun and adventure. When you need a strong, steady financial hand, think local. Think Guardian.
Buffalo Rock is well known for Pepsi and other great soft drink brands. Did you know that Buffalo Rock is one of the River Region's largest full-service caterers? And have you heard about Micro Market? Buffalo Rock is leading the region with innovation to replace conventional vending at many of the larger industrial plants. Plant management loves it, and so do the employees. To find out more about Buffalo Rock Catering and the Micro Market, call Mike Barnett at 334-394-4452. The Buffalo Rock family is proud to support area schools. BuffaloRock.com.
It's time for a trip to Prattville Outdoors at 118 Highway 82 West in Prattville. Prattville Outdoors is locally owned, family operated. The Johnson Brothers and Viv. Prattville Outdoors with a great selection of Gravely zero-turn mowers. These are top zero-turn mowers, residential or commercial. Buy now with no money down, 0% financing for up to 48 months, and they got all the sales and service to back up everything they do there at Prattville Outdoors. So when you're ready to buy a brand new lawnmower, you need to go to the people that know their stuff. Go to PrattvilleOutdoors.com or follow on Facebook.
Give me some U.S. farm-raised catfish. Give me some U.S. farm-raised catfish.
I only use U.S. farm-raised catfish.
We've been selling U.S. farm-raised catfish since 1978.
You do have a choice for a good, wholesome, safe fish. We know it's a good product.
Ask for U.S. farm-raised catfish, only the finest, freshest, tastiest. You can taste the difference.
From our farm to your table, your family deserves the best. U.S. farm-raised catfish.
Chip Powell here with Lewis Mills, service manager of Larry Puckett Chevrolet, Express Oil Change and Tire Engineers. Lewis, talk to us about your Express Oil Change.
Well, our Express Oil Change, we have a full-line mechanical shop. We do 10-minute oil changes, and we are a full-fledged tire shop. We're a direct dealer with Michelin, BF Goodrich, Uniroyal, and Yokohama.
When you need service, your oil change and tires, come here at Larry Puckett Chevrolet, Express Oil Change and Tires Engineer.
Hi, welcome back in, Coach Caleb Ross Show. And, Coach, man, I just had a great sit-down with Andre Powell talking about his incredible performance against Wetumpka. But, as we always say, we kind of get the first couple points of the show out of it because it's a new week. It started, really Saturday morning, right?
That's right. Yeah, we'll go in our routine, we'll come in Saturday morning. We'll watch the film from the night before as a staff. I think offense gets there about 7, defense gets there about 8. Because I'm involved in the offense, I'll get there at 7. We bring our starters in. They kind of get like a little recovery lift, stretch type deal. And then really after that, we will kind of let our guys go after that. And the coaching staff then we'll start doing our breakdown stuff of Lee. So we'll take 4 or 5 games and start inputting stuff. And, because we run our reports off of what they do, tendencies, all that type stuff. So, and then, when we roll in on Sunday at 1 o'clock, man, it's full Robert E. Lee. It's there's a lot of preparation that goes into it. So.
Coach, let's just go ahead and address one thing, because something in the break, I'm just sweating uncontrollably here over this 7th grade game. Prattville sitting up on Stanhope 24-0 heading to the 4th quarter. So you still got time. Eighth grade team is JV right after 8th, or are we just doing 7th, 8th?
It's just 7th and 8th. So our JV played this Monday. Now our JV's 3-0. So our JV played Carver this past Monday.
What's the score Monday?
We won 28-12.
There you go.
They're 3-0. We're proud of that. We got one more JV game, which will be here in about 2 weeks against Stanhope. So, and our 7th grade's winning. 8th grade's competitive, man. 9th grade football. They've lost their last 2, but we had some kids hurt the other night. So, man, but that's a really talented group. So, I'll tell you, there's good days ahead for Prattville football. And you're right. I think it did cool down. It was about 99. It's a cool 97 right now.
Yeah, look, honestly, the past couple weeks, it's been hot. People watching on Prattville Live, watching the show, going back in the archive, actually seeing us do this whole ordeal out here, can see that we're sweating and it's hot.
Yeah.
But for some reason, I don't know what it is. I've just picked up some sweats. And, one thing leading into next week, from at least when I can tell, weather, meteorologist over at Alabama News Network, Shane Butler's kind of telling me is that, the big lowdown, we can get to Wednesday. It's the high is 80, and you're just telling me low 40, maybe one of those nights.
That's what I heard, low in the upper 40s one night.
Yeah, look, is the coaching staff just going to freak out? It touches 60 one night, and everybody's got full jackets out.
Man, we diving for sweaters and turtle and old fleece pullovers and all that stuff, man. When it gets down in about 68, so our kids ain't gonna know what to do with themselves, man. Every day, when you're walking out there and you look about 100 yards out, and the waves of the heat are coming through. You're like, man, it's going to be a good practice today. Get these. But I tell you this, man, our kids have really battled through it, man. They really have. Because there's some days, and maybe they're not too many of them are listening because they'll hold it against me. But there's some days I'm thinking, man, if I had to play and had to go out in this, I don't know, boys. I don't know. Yeah.
I'm good. Just putting that helmet on. That's a testament to, just all the coaches and players and staying hydrated, getting out there, hitting the practice. And, man, has this been one of the hottest just periods that you can remember coaching-wise? Because it just seems like it's freaking October now.
Yeah, I think there's been hotter days. Now, they say some of the high temperatures have been the hottest ever. But I remember there's days of humidity, especially when I was coaching in Mobile, Alabama. It actually gets a little hotter here. But the humidity in Mobile, Alabama, being close to that water, man, it's incredible. But for an extensive period of time, I don't ever remember where you're going about 4 or 5 weeks straight where it's been upper 90s every day and there's no rain. That's really incredible, man. And I tell you this, we were talking about this the other day. They're talking about, in Alabama, the numbers are up for playing football, but maybe nationwide the numbers are down. And people, contribute that to, they think the old concussion stuff. And I'm not saying that doesn't have a little bit to do with it. I really think it has more to do with the commitment that it takes to play this sport, man. I tell our kids all the time they are special, man. They are really special because they're doing something that I don't know if it's natural in the fabric of teenage kids anymore to go commit to a sport like this and to come out in that heat in the afternoons and to give up social
You're
media.
suffering.
It's tough. But it's like I think they've got enough DNA from their family to understand this. And I played a lot of sports, and I still love baseball, still love basketball, man. I try to play golf, man. So I love any type of sports. I watch the Olympics, but to me, football is just different, man. There's just something you can gain from playing a game of football that you can't gain from the others. It's just a mental grit that you can earn, and man, it takes that. And I think the value in that later on in life, it really pays dividends. And but I tell you, it's hard. I just don't know if kids sometimes, as many, can do those things anymore. That to me has more to do why the numbers are down than anything else. It's just, Coach, you want me to come out here in this heat and put on these pads and sit out here for 2 hours when it's 95 degrees?
Yeah.
Yeah, I need you to do that, man. That's kind of what's required here. Coach, I don't know, man. I don't know if I can do that. So, that has a lot to do with it. But unbelievable what our kids, what the resilience that they go through, man, just to get themselves ready to play on Friday night.
Yeah, it's kind of something you brought up, over the years of being a head coach, being an assistant, and kind of just being around the game, but especially head coaching-wise, as is, we're getting close to 2020, so it's a little bit different than, even me playing and growing up playing in high school back, in the mid-2000s. So, going through, the past 10 years, past 15 years, being a head coach, being involved, being an assistant, has the conversations started increasing as it seems like, we're kind of moving into a different age of I I guess you could say maybe commitment.
Yeah, I agree. I think I'll say this: if you can figure that part out and get teams bought into what you want to do and commit to it, I think that's where you can really have some success. Because I just think that's really where the key is. It's such a psychological thing these days. I truly believe in that stuff. I mean, obviously you got to have good players, you got to have a good plan and a good scheme, but it's really, can you get your kids mentally ready to play? Can they battle? I tell them every day, man, the biggest opponent they have is the man in the mirror. You understand? Is battling themselves.
Yeah.
Man, because you will talk yourself out of goals to have some short-term comfort, man. Your long-term goals that you wanted to go win, you want to be a good football player, you want to commit to something, you'll talk yourselves out of it because it's hot or because you're tired or because maybe you're aching a little bit. And, man, just trying to constantly battle that message with our kids. And it's something that you got to do it every day.
Mm-hmm.
And it just this sounds like a sports psychologist saying, but I heard one time it'll happen all of a sudden over a long period of time. And it's just so true because, I mean, you start all of a sudden the kids are starting to say the things you're saying. They're starting to fight through. And, man, we're year 2, and you're starting to see signs of things that we started putting in them day 1. I'm excited to see where they're going to be 2 years from now, where the program's going to be. Not that we've got it figured out, guys, because there's every day you scratch your head coming in the office like, man, I don't know how to reach these kids. What are we doing? But then
what's going on?
Yeah, that's it. But then you watch them play on a Friday night, and they're dialed in, they're focused, man, and you're like, man, they're getting it. They're starting to get it. So, man.
What's been the difference from, when you first came in, took the head coaching job out here at Prattville to, year 2 now? You're more than halfway, sitting at the point in this season of the regular season. What's been the biggest difference, you think, in just getting kids motivated?
The kids understand the expectation. I think, like, when I come in last year, there was change, and anytime you got change, it's going to create excitement. So there was a lot of kids where, man, they were excited. They wanted something new. They wanted to win, but they didn't know how. They didn't know how. They really did not know how. I mean, they might have they might have heard what it took, and everybody in the community's got an answer, man, but the consistency, man, and when they start seeing it, and there's a joke, and the kids give me a hard time about it, but they're like, every day, Coach? Yeah, every day. You got to bring it. And I said, there are no days off, man. And they laugh, and we have a good time with it, but I think they get it now. I said, man, they're every day, even when it's raining, even on every day, you got to be committed to something, man.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we all been blessed with something. Let's go make the most of it. And I think that they're starting to understand that. They're starting to see, you got to, and I'll be honest with you, you got to go win a little bit. You got to have success for there to be buy-in. Because if you're just saying these things and you're working hard and you're winning 2 games a year, man, kids are gonna feel like you've lied to us.
It's something I saw from Keondre, and just hearing his confidence. Something that you just noted on is that, look, I mean, last year you're sitting in a couple of these games that, you have to know how to win, and that just comes from experience. Is that something maybe you think the know how to win and know how to execute and just cut the game off and get the W? Is that something you think, especially from a Wetumpka game? I mean, it doesn't matter at the end of the day if you drop that one on a win or loss record, but confidence and getting that, hey, we're going to win this game.
That's right. Well, here's a good example, and this is my opinion, man, even maybe early part of last year. Man, we had 2 huge negative plays in the first half of that game. We throw a pick about second drive, third drive that runs back to the 20. We hold our water. Defense holds the stand, blocks the kick. But then we get stripped, and they get a scoop and score, and they go up a touchdown. Man, in recent years, even maybe the beginning parts of last year, our kids have been there that sunk their head and it was over. But there was never any doubt, man. Our kids hung in there. There was never any doubt. And, man, it was almost like, Coach, we're gonna be fine, man. We're going to make the adjustment at halftime. We're going to win this game. And so you're starting to see that a little bit, man. They're starting to understand that, hey, we're prepared for this. We're going to be okay. And there are no shortcuts to it. I wish you could come in year 1, man. I wish you could come in all of a sudden hit a magic wand. All of a sudden, kids, that stuff sounds good in a Hollywood movie, but it's not real. I mean, it takes time. It just takes time to rebuild something.
Coach, if you're looking at your schedule, and it's something Gus Malzahn said, sitting in Auburn Tuesday, and he made it's a Malzahn spectacle. He doesn't make much. It's not like going to Saban up in Tuscaloosa, but he got a little animated when talking about, being asked about, hey, do you look at this schedule about how difficult, how many top 10 teams you got to play? And, Gus made a great point saying, look, beginning of the season, I put up the schedule on the whiteboard. We talked about it. I said, after this, that's all we're going to talk about it. Is that is that somewhat similar to – because, I mean, looking at your schedule, Coach, I mean, it's brutal at certain parts. I mean, you're starting to get out to the part. You're starting to get some more home games,
Right.
and but I mean, the first half of that schedule. I mean, I keep talking about it every week because it is brutal.
And I think, man, I heard Keondre, and I was really proud of some things he said. You was asking about, man, how was the field after beating Wetumpka? And he's like, man, there really was no field. It was like, we moved on to Lee. And I think that's the only way you do this. I mean, because there's no doubt Region 2's tough, man. There's really good teams, there's good coaches, good coaching staffs. It's a physical style of play. You already talked about, man, our non-region opponents. You got Wetumpka, really good opponent. Stanhope's a traditional rival, really good opponent. So, man, I mean, in this region, it's 7A football. So, that to me, the only way you cannot get caught up in, oh, man, we're playing so-and-so, is you don't even think about so-and-so. You make it about yourself. Now, you talk about so-and-so because that's their scheme or that's their plan or this is their personnel. This kid's here good. We got to have a plan for him.
Mm-hmm.
But you don't sit there and make, man, Robert E. Lee into the New York Giants or the Green Bay Packers. Man, we make them into Robert E. Lee. They're a good football program, and we better go respect them. All right, but we're a good football program too. All right, and so they got great players. We got great players. So it ought to be a good night, and let's focus on us getting better. There may be a better way of doing it out there. That's the way we do it. And that's the only way I know how to do it, and it's the way I think it's proven it's successful. And we didn't create this stuff, man. We have studied from great programs, and that hey, take it one day at a time, one game at a time. That's what all that means. When you hear all those cliches, that's what it means, man. Hey, we're not focused on how great our teams are going to be down the stretch, man. We're worried about us today. We're worried about us getting better. And I'm telling you, man, kids are more. I think they're more or less sometimes worried about Lee than more worried about that 97-degree heat we was talking about earlier and trying to get through it, and that's just the reality. So.
That's probably the truth. Coach, man, big game tomorrow night. Again, Lee Montgomery. It is finally a nice little home game. Pre-game starts at 6 o'clock right here in Dixie Country, 100.1. You don't want to miss that. Then Will Barrett, the guys, Chip Powell, everybody go live at 6:45 to get you ready. 15 minutes right up until 7 o'clock kickoff. It's Prattville and Lee Montgomery, a big Region 2 matchup in Class 7A. We'll keep getting you ready for right after this. You're listening to Coach Caleb Ross Show.
Chip Powell here at Larry Puckett Chevrolet with sales manager Kirk Mims, where LP also stands for low prices. Kirk, talk about your deals here.
Man, it's a great time here at Larry Puckett Chevrolet. You know what? Football is here, but football also means fall savings at Larry Puckett Chevrolet. We got great prices. We got a great inventory. We got 0% financing on multiple models. There's never been a bigger time to shop. We have a great selection of used cars. You can go to LarryPuckettChevrolet.com.
Larry Puckett Chevrolet right here in Prattville, Alabama.
Think local. Think of all the skill and talent found right here in our community. Hands that build, hands that feed, teach, protect, and hands that heal. Guardian Credit Union reaches out to people just like you. Handling loans for new cars, opening doors to new homes, saying yes to fun and adventure. When you need a strong, steady financial hand, think local. Think Guardian.
Buffalo Rock is well known for Pepsi and other great soft drink brands. Did you know that Buffalo Rock is one of the River Region's largest full-service caterers? And have you heard about Micro Market? Buffalo Rock is leading the region with innovation to replace conventional vending at many of the larger industrial plants. Plant management loves it, and so do the employees. To find out more about Buffalo Rock Catering and the Micro Market, call Mike Barnett at 334-394-4452. The Buffalo Rock family is proud to support area schools. BuffaloRock.com.
It's time for a trip to Prattville Outdoors at 118 Highway 82 West in Prattville. Prattville Outdoors is locally owned, family operated. The Johnson Brothers and Viv. Prattville Outdoors with a great selection of Gravely zero-turn mowers. These are top zero-turn mowers, residential or commercial. Buy now with no money down, 0% financing for up to 48 months, and they got all the sales and service to back up everything they do there at Prattville Outdoors. So when you're ready to buy a brand new lawnmower, you need to go to the people that know their stuff. Go to PrattvilleOutdoors.com or follow on Facebook.
Give me some U.S. farm-raised catfish. Give me some U.S. farm-raised catfish.
I only use U.S. farm-raised catfish.
We've been selling U.S. farm-raised catfish since 1978.
You do have a choice for a good, wholesome, safe fish. We know it's a good product.
Ask for U.S. farm-raised catfish, only the finest, freshest, tastiest. You can taste the difference.
From our farm to your table, your family deserves the best. U.S. farm-raised catfish.
I said, man, what'd you expect? That's what we're going to do.
Coach, I put it this way. Y'all could do the show without me. You can't do it without that guy, Stacey Mills.
I think both of us could actually step away. He's going to keep it, and they'd have somebody else step in here and do it, no doubt, man. But, man, you do a good job, man. Obviously, you're experienced at it, and you come prepared. And, man, I'm glad you're with us.
Dixie Country 100.1. You can catch the game right here tomorrow night. Also, if you want to watch a little bit of it, I believe Prattville Live will have the game as well. Live streaming, listen to Will Barrett, Chip Powell, the whole gang, Donnie, all of them just having a good time. Pre-game starts at 6 o'clock. You'll get a bunch of cool little interviews leading up right up to 6:45 when the guys will take over live. And then with kickoff at 7 o'clock again. I mean, we've mentioned it plenty of times in this one. It is a giant game. Lee Montgomery coming in this one, Coach, undefeated, 6-0. And Prattville Lions looking to take and put that first loss on the Generals record tomorrow night.
Yeah, man, they like I said, they're good. They're big. I tell you, they're just big up front on both sides of the ball. Really big O-line. I mean, they've got 6'4", 6'5" guys. They're physical. They're going to run the ball. They're going to run the ball at you, but they're also going to, man, and they're probably really balanced, to be honest. I keep saying they run the football. They do, but they balance too. They got a quarterback that can deliver it, man. I think he's really good, and they got 3 or 4 receivers that can go. That's why they're 6-0. Defensively, probably going to see 2 defensive tackles that are as good as anybody will see. Now, we've seen some really good D linemen this year. We have from Stanhope to Central to even, Wetumpka had a couple, but, man, Lee is just as good as anybody, if not better, man. They got a couple of guys there. It's got a couple of SEC offers, and another guy, probably one of the best players in our region, man. Number 52, he's explosive, dynamic, really good D lineman. Got a D1 corner that's gotten looks, some fast, long linebackers. I mean, you're 6-0 for a reason, and that's why. So, and they do a good job with their kids, man. They play within themselves.
Coach, we've wrapped up. We really previewed this game really good. Wrapped up with Wetumpka from a week ago. And, now it brings me to a weekly question. Tonight, a little pre-night dinner. I mean, you're kind of telling me that you're going to stick around here over at Stanley-Jensen and maybe get some concession food, support this team?
It'll be a hot dog and probably a little bit of maybe some French fries. I don't know. I may not go French fries. I may just go chips or something. We'll see. Yeah, that's the extent of it tonight. Last week we went out with some family and ate, but tonight they probably keep pretty low key.
Was it Mexican last week?
We actually did Fox's Pizza, man.
Fox's Pizza.
It was good, but I actually did not get a pizza. I got a sub.
You got a calzone. A sub, Coach. What? You go out to Fox's Pizza, or you go anywhere that's a pizza joint. I get getting a calzone or something, but a sub? Was it a meatball sub at least?
Steak and cheese, and it was really good.
Oh, okay. I mean, yeah,
I'm not,
can't be too upset with a steak and cheese.
Don't want to do a plug for them, but man, hey, it was really good.
Oh, man. Again, guys, tons of ways you can catch this show, and, more importantly, the awesome job that Prattville Live Dixie Country does, trying to get this game to you each and every week when possible, trying to get this coaches show to you each and every week as well. Want to remind you, if you're trying to find us next Thursday night from 5:30 to 6:30, you're not going to do so because you'll be listening to the pregame show at 6 o'clock. Big game next Thursday night. It's a Crampton Bowl game. Jeff Davis, another big one in Region 2 Class 7A. So set your reminders. The show is going to be on Wednesday night, 5:30 to 6:30. You can catch that over at Buffalo Wild Wings in Prattville. Won't be here at Stanley-Jensen, but again at Buffalo Wild Wings, we'll be back out there on Wednesday night going from 5:30 to 6:30 for the Coach Caleb Ross show. And as always, Coach, man, it's a pleasure, man.
Yeah, I've enjoyed it, man. Like I said, this is fun. I enjoy it. You do a good job. Stacey does a good job, man. All around, just good broadcast. Good.
Last reminder, tomorrow night, pregame, 6 o'clock, live at 6:45 as well. You can catch the game. You can catch everything right here in Dixie Country, 100.1 FM. Catch the game, the highlights, everything you need on Prattville Live. That's tomorrow night kickoff, 7 o'clock, as your Prattville Lions going to host Lee Montgomery. But as for Coach Caleb Ross, your Prattville Lions, I'm Daryl Puckett. It's been a pleasure. We'll see you next Wednesday night, 5:30 to 6:30. Come see us over at Buffalo Wild Wings. Until then, have a great Thursday evening.